Hello, hello, my friends. Boy, oh boy, do I have a holiday haul to share with you guys today. I have Homeworx, Kringle, and hold your breath, you guys, Yankee. And I'm not just talking a couple of candles from Yankee. I have 10 Yankee candles to share with you guys today. So I had thought about putting this in like a couple of separate videos, but honestly, you guys, my filming schedule, it's just, I just don't have the time to film all the things that I want to film. And so you're just going to get it all in one big video today. So make sure you grab a drink, grab a snack. As always, all of the candles that I'm talking about today, I will make sure that I list in the description box down below with some timestamps in there. None of this is PR, you guys. I purchased all of these candles and I'm pretty excited to share some of these with you, especially this Yankee haul. I'm pretty surprised, you guys. A little bit of a spoiler alert. There is not one thing in this haul that I'm like, I kind of regret purchasing that. So really excited to get into this. If you like this video, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Consider subscribing to my channel if you are new. I do hauls like this. I do dedicated reviews. I do empties and a lot of fun candle content in between. So if you feel like you vibe with me and want to stick around, make sure you hit that subscribe button. But like I said, I feel like this is already going to be pretty lengthy. So let's go ahead and dive into this haul. I'm going to go ahead and start out with Slatkin & Co. or Homeworx. I've got a couple of things here that I did want to show you. Actually, you know what? It's funny. I did just say I did buy all of these things, but there is one item that was sent to me in PR, you guys. And this actually was, they accidentally, something got mixed up in their shipping. And so I had talked about this in a Homeworx haul. I can't remember. I've already shown a video where I showed you guys the body spray that they sent to me from this Dwell 212. But they did send me the matching lotion. So this is in the fragrance Snow from Dwell 212. I do know that Dwell 212 usually is sold at Walmart as well as on the Slatkin & Co. website. Last I checked, this was only available on their website. But I'm not sure if this like winter lineup is coming to Walmart. The fragrance note here, it says a frosty winter wonderland to think cool and snow day. It doesn't have specific fragrance notes here, but this is like a very fresh, kind of like cool outdoorsy fragrance. I do like this. I'm not sure that I want my body to smell completely like this, but my almost 12-year-old daughter really likes this fragrance. So she already stole the fragrance mist from me, and I figured, well, I'll go ahead and let her have the matching body lotion. Now, something that is also body care from Homeworx that I've really enjoyed, you guys. In fact, I've kind of transitioned over to most of my soaps are now from Homeworx or Slatkin & Co. This is in the fragrance Spun Vanilla Sugar. I actually ended up purchasing 2 of these. I like this fragrance for after the holidays. I actually had a luxe size of this fragrance in their candle format. I just love this one, you guys. Honestly, this is probably in one of like my top 5 Homeworx fragrances of all time. I love this fragrance. Fragrance notes are spun sugar, whipped cream, sugared lemon, and vanilla. You get a tinge of that lemon in here, but this is not a lemon gourmand like their limoncello cupcake. It's just so yummy. Now, I did see some of these body care products are showing up in Kohl's. I was in Kohl's the other day and I saw them. Truthfully, you guys, I feel like they're a little bit pricier in the Kohl's retailers. I think if you have Kohl's Cash or something though, and you can apply that, then maybe that would be a savings. But this I just purchased from the Slatkin & Co. website. Again, I got 2 of them. Really, really like the way that these hand soaps clean my hands and they don't feel them, leave them feeling too like dried out. So yeah, like this hand soap and decided to get another one. You guys, I just bit my tongue. Like, here we go. I'm getting a little bit too excited about all of these candles and I need to slow down. All right, you guys, here's a candle that honestly, I purchased this with the intention of gifting it. Now this, again, one of my all-time favorite fragrances from Homeworx. I'll probably purchase it again because I like burning this after the holidays. This is the fragrance Hot Cider Donut. I know a lot of people love burning it right now during like fall, transitioning into the holiday. This, truthfully, you guys, is one of those fragrances that I feel like if you're a gourmand lover, this is good year round. Now, the reason why I purchased this is one of my really, really good friends. I would say she's my one friend who she doesn't love candles as much as I do, but she's my friend who loves candles the most. Like, she tends to purchase from Bath and Body Works a lot. I know that she loves this fragrance. I've bought it for her in the past, and her birthday is coming up next week. So she doesn't watch my channel. So I decided to go ahead and purchase this for her. Fragrance notes are harvest apple, cinnamon sugar, vanilla bean, spiced cider. I think those of you who are familiar with the Homeworx brand, you guys know what this smells like. It is like it's got that donut accord. You've got a little bit of apple, but you've got that cinnamon sugar in here. It's just there. It's one of the OG Homeworx fragrances, and there's a reason why it comes back year in and year out. In fact, I feel like it's always in stock now on the Slatkin & Co. website. I don't even think it's a seasonal thing anymore. I currently have this in the hand soap. Love it. But this is just such a great fragrance. I actually always called this my Disneyland candle. I think it's because the first time that I had this candle in my collection way back in like 2019, I burned this. I like this fragrance, like I said, after the holidays, like January, February. And I remember we were taking our kids to Disneyland because two of my daughters, their birthdays are in February. And so we were going to Disneyland. And I feel like I was burning this around the times I was packing to go there. And then when I go down Main Street and you've got the churros and everything, there's just something about it that I associate with that scent memory. So Hot Cider Donut is a candle that I picked up, but it is going out, so it's not technically staying. Here's another fragrance that I feel like I had this one in my collection a couple of years ago. I bought it on clearance at Marshall's, and then I never got around to burning it. I think I ended up gifting it to a friend, but I was intrigued once again by it, and I thought, you know what, I've never done a review on it. Sounds intriguing. Let's try it. It is the fragrance Citrus and Spruce. Fragrance notes on this are fresh pine, orange citrus, vetiver, and oak moss. Now, this is a type of fragrance, that I like right now, month of November. I'm not ready for full-on Christmas fragrances, not ready for all of my nostalgic tree and gourmand scents. But to me, this is tree, but it doesn't scream Christmas to me. There is a little bit of citrus in here, a little bit of orange, but this is mostly tree with a little bit of orange. I feel like this is not as strong as the new Christmas Tree Farm from Kringle. I really love that fragrance, but this one is kind of in that vein. I feel like it's not as piney smelling, and I do think that that has to do with the vetiver note in here. Vetiver can come across a little bit more resinous to my nose. And so I do think that it's toning down the typical astringency of a pine fragrance, particularly spruce. So I do really like this fragrance, oak moss. Yeah, there's something that's a little bit more green in this as opposed to it just being like a pine tree scent. So I'm excited to get to burning this one. I've got a couple of other candles in here that I think are going to pair nicely with this. So Citrus and Spruce I did purchase. And then here's a candle that I purchased because back in, was it during Christmas in July? I think it was during Christmas in July. The brand did send me this fragrance in the room spray, like in the air fresheners. And I really liked it in the room spray enough that I thought, you know what, I've never had that in the candle format, but let's go ahead and give it a try. This is the fragrance Garland Berry. Now, I think the packaging on this is absolutely stunning. We have fragrance notes here of fir needles, holly berries, blackberries, and balsam. Again, this is another good November fragrance. This is kind of more of a sweet berry note going on. I do detect some blackberry in here mixed with like a cranberry note, but the cranberry leans a little bit, well, it says holly berry. Okay. But like to me, it smells like a kind of more like a sweet cranberry note to me. Not overly tart, but that blackberry note maybe is lending a little bit more sweetness to it. This is not like a cranberry note, which of course cranberry is not what's listed here. It says holly berries, fir needles, and balsam. There's a little bit of greenery, but to me, this is more sweet fruit forward than it is the green aspect of it. But I like this. Again, a fragrance that I could burn during the month of November. This is a great, like, I am definitely in a place, you guys, where I am over all of the fall fragrances. I'm done with pumpkin. I'm done with apple. I'm over it. I am leaning more towards, I feel like cranberry is the scent that I lean towards right now in the month of November. And truthfully, a little bit of orange. I'm liking some orange. I'm still wanting some gourmands. experimenting with some tree, but I don't want anything that like screams Christmas tree yet. So again, this is going to be a great fragrance for me to burn here in November. And I did want to let you guys know, if I have not done dedicated post-burn reviews on some of these candles, like Hot Cider Donut, I think I have a review on. I don't have one on Citrus and Spruce or Garland Berry, so I will make sure that I get some reviews out for you guys on those candles. But yeah, really excited to have those in my collection now. So that is my haul from Slatkin & Co. Let's go ahead and jump into Kringle. So I ended up purchasing some 3-wick candles. Now, in the past, you guys, I have said I've had hit or miss experiences with the 3-wicks. However, this first candle here that I purchased in the 3-wick is because this is one of my all-time favorite fragrances from Kringle. It is my very favorite winter citrus scent that Kringle has ever done. In fact, it was a quote unquote reject when my friend Melanie was putting together her vintage pomander scent with Kringle a couple of years ago. This is one of the fragrances that was sampled to her, and she said, this isn't quite what I'm looking for, but you guys should do something with this candle. And they did. They turned it into the fragrance Away in a Manger. Now, Away in a Manger, I got word last month, has been retired. So the only format that this was available in, for candles at least, fun fact, you guys, I don't do wax melts. I think I'm one of the few home fragrance reviewers on this platform that doesn't do wax melts. I just don't. I don't really have the time, I guess, or I don't know. I've just never really, they've never really appealed to me. So I only use candles. And so in candle format, this is no longer available in the medium 2-wick or the large 2-wick. It was only available in the 3-wick. So when these went on sale for $13, I don't know if Kringle is still running the 3-wicks, at least these 3-wicks, at 50% off, but they did have a great sale. I went ahead, you guys, and I purchased 4 of these because I love this fragrance so much. Fragrance notes are juicy orange, mint leaf, lemon, clove bud, rose, cinnamon, nutmeg, musk, vanilla, and cashmere woods. And I'm just going to tell you guys, this is juicy orange, but I get a little bit of that. It's more clove and cinnamon heavy. Melanie's Vintage Pomander doesn't have as much clove or cinnamon in it, which it's a beautiful fragrance. It's more juicy orange leaning to me. But to me, the spices in this fragrance is what makes me think of this as being a more wintertime citrus as opposed to like summertime, bright, juicy, zesty citrus. I love this scent so much. Again, I wanted to make sure that I had more of it. This fragrance, you guys, I have been blending with so many scents right now. I love this with Kringle's Cranberry. I've been burning it with Caramel Sundays Cranberry and Birch. I feel like this is going to go nicely with the Citrus and Spruce. This goes nicely with Bath & Body Works Winter, or Caramel Sundays Home for Christmas, which is in that same vein. Goes nicely with Kringle's Cozy Christmas. There's just so many fragrances that this goes nicely with in the wintertime that I was like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and get 4 more. Truth be told, you guys, if it's still in stock, and maybe I've gone a little wild here with my spending, but if this is still in stock, like say after the holidays and they do another clearance, I could see myself buying more just because I know that this fragrance is going away and I love it so very much. So I'm only showing you guys 1, but I did purchase 4 of these. Now, while we are talking about holiday fragrances, you guys, there is a scent from Kringle that I've had in a daylight a couple of years ago. For whatever reason, I've never purchased it in a larger vessel, and this candle was actually available in the rewards. Kringle did just kind of restructure their rewards program. I still think that it's a great program, but every once in a while, you guys, you can redeem your points, not only for like free shipping, you can get it for dollars off of your purchase, but sometimes they will offer large 2-wick vessels as something that you can redeem points for. And so when I made that purchase when I made this purchase, I was like, that's a candle that I'm intrigued by, you guys. I remember having it in a daylight. I liked it. It's very hyped. It's very well loved by a lot of other ambassadors and people who shop with Kringle, but I've never had it in a 2-wick. Can you guys guess what fragrance it is? Drum roll, please. Juniper and Laurel. I've never had this fragrance before, you guys. Fragrance notes: white juniper, laurel leaves, eucalyptus, jasmine, silver spruce, patchouli, cedar, and pine cone. So this is a beautiful scent, you guys. This is very, this to me is kind of like elevated, classy Christmas. It's definitely a tree scent. Not my typical warm tree scent. So I'm going to tell you, this is a fragrance to me that I like burning now or in January. I could burn this at the holidays too. I could see myself burning it around Christmas time, but I'm going to tell you guys, Christmas is very nostalgic to me. There's certain scents to me that just scream Christmas time. And while I like this doesn't really evoke any kind of like sentimental memories for me. But this is beautiful. I see why it is very well loved. Now, when I burn it, it might become more sentimental to me. But what am I smelling here? Okay. I'm definitely getting some juniper, which juniper for me is actually a sentimental fragrance because I grew up in an area in Southern California. I grew up about an hour north of Los Angeles, kind of more in the high desert, and there's a lot of juniper trees around there. So juniper is kind of sentimental to me. I get juniper in here, but this eucalyptus, it's not overly prominent here. Silver spruce, I do get a little bit of spruce in there. It's a very green fragrance. Cedar, there's a little bit of woodiness in it, and pine cone. I do detect some woodiness in the base of this, which is why I think I'm really liking it, because you guys know I tend to like woody tree fragrances. But this is different than my typical like fir woody fragrances. That's typically what I associate with Christmas. But this is very pretty and elevated. I am not mad about having got this one. I see what the hype is. And of course, the label on this is absolutely stunning as well. So I'll make sure to give you guys some post-burn thoughts on that. But Juniper and Laurel is something that I redeemed some points on. Now, we know that it's probably about a month ago now, Kringle surprised us with some new fall and winter 3-wick candles. Now, I believe that there were 18 fragrances total. There was like a fall collection, and then there was a holiday collection. Now, I'm going to let you guys know, there's probably been some speculation about this. Some of these fragrances are repackages of Country Candle. Now, this is not how Kringle is. First and foremost, this is not, how do I put this? This is not how they are transitioning Country Candle into the Kringle formats. In fact, we have actually seen over the last couple of weeks that some country fragrances have now made it into the permanent Kringle collection. I think that, was it apple cider cake or something like that? There's been a few of them that have already started to make that transition, and we are going to see more of that. This is also not the 3-wick. Like, this is not the future of the 3 wicks either, you guys. Basically, and Kringle has always been very, very transparent about things, and so I don't think I'm going to get into trouble for saying this, but basically, my understanding is that these 3-wick collections are Kringle's attempt at being very resourceful with some of the wax, the fragrance oils, and the vessels that they already have in their warehouse, which is why I think that they're able to offer this at a very economical price point. So we're still getting the same great soy wax formula that we know and love from Kringle. But the reason why I think they're able to offer these at a lower price point is, again, they're just being resourceful with what they have. They're using up what they have. And that's why also some of these fragrance blends are not going to be the typical, more conceptual, elevated take that Kringle tends to go for, or what their kind of signature trademark is. But regardless, you guys, it's a great price point, and I think that I think it's a great marketing strategy, because it does allow people who maybe are not familiar with the Kringle name kind of a way to experience the formula, the experience of burning Kringle at an affordable price point, and then maybe it gets them a little bit more intrigued to try some of the more like mainline Kringle stuff. So I feel like that was a long explanation, but this is not the future of the 3 wicks. This is also not the future of Country Candle being formatted into the Kringle lineup. So I did end up purchasing 3 candles because they are at the price point of 3 for $33, or I think that you can get 1 for $24.50, but why would you do that when you can get 3 for $33? So let's go ahead and start out with the fragrance that I was most intrigued by, because this was said to have been a repackage of one of my favorite country candles, and I will confirm, yes or no. Is it a repackage? This is the fragrance Warm Banana Loaf. Fragrance notes are ripe banana, fresh baked bread, cinnamon, nutmeg, vanilla. So unlike a lot of the other Kringle packaging, on these labels, you will find the fragrance notes listed right here. These are 14.5 ounces of, 100% soy wax, but they are colored. We've got these nice long wicks. And you guys, this is said that it was a repackage of Country Candle. When was this? The summer of 2024. They had a limited edition banana bread. Look, I was even looking at the packaging here. Now, two different pictures, but it's a repackage, you guys. It is the exact same. Now, I actually purchased this. This one I just purchased back in August when I was at the Kringle store. I saw one of these sitting on the shelves, and I was like, thank you very much. I will buy that because I loved this fragrance. And now I am so happy that it is available. Now, I don't know how long these are going to be around. Like I said, they're going to be limited edition just as long as they have them. But yeah, this is the exact same fragrance. I am so glad that I have this. This is another fragrance that I could see myself. I am gonna burn this a couple of times just to see how the burn is on it. Maybe I'll do a dedicated post burn for you guys. Let me know in the comment section down below. Do you want me to do a dedicated post burn? Because I do have one already of the banana bread when I had it in the Country Candle format, but now that nobody can get it in that format, would you guys like to see how this one performs? And to give you guys some updated thoughts, let me know in the comment section down below, because I can do that for you guys. This is a great fragrance. I love burning banana bread fragrances, like, again, after the holidays, all the way through the summertime. This pairs really nicely with their, also the retired fragrance, Sugar Diamonds, which I purchased more of those when I was in store. So really excited that this fragrance has kind of come back. So yeah, made sure I got my hands on that. Now, another fragrance that I was really curious about to see if it was a repackage is the fragrance. What on earth is going on with the lid here? It doesn't want to stay on here. Okay. Again, it's an $11 candle. Christmas treats. We have fragrance notes of fried pastry, cinnamon, and brown sugar. And I was thinking, is this going to be a repackage of holiday churro? Now, unlike the banana bread, this is not a repackage. I thought that there might be some similar notes because holiday churro has fragrance notes of cinnamon, sugar, donut, spice, and vanilla. So this one to me, there is, you know who said it was Wanda from, I think her channel name is now Wax and Things. I think that's her channel name now. I'll link her channel down below. You guys, I love Wanda's channel. It's a very, very small channel, but she does a lot of great reviews. I know right now she's taking a little bit of a break because she's had some allergies. She was instructed by her doctor not to burn candles for a while, but she has some great reviews, you guys. So I'll link her channel down below. Go ahead and go give her a follow. But she said, and I agree with her, she picks up a little bit of an apple note in here, and I do as well. Now, is it so appley that it's making me think of fall? No. Again, this is like a good year-round fragrance. Is it anything earth-shattering and like something I've never smelled before? No. Is it something that I enjoy on cold sniff? Yeah, I do. I think that this is a great fragrance that I could start burning right now. Fried pastry, cinnamon, brown sugar. I do get cinnamon in here. It's not smack me in the face cinnamon. I get more of that, like kind of like a brown sugar note going on. A little bit of a pastry note. This is good. Like, it's good. Is it, again, it's not super conceptual, which maybe I kind of appreciate, to be honest with you guys. I think I kind of appreciate that right now. So yeah, I will make sure to get some burns in on this one, give you guys a post-burn review, but this is not holiday churro. Holiday churro, again, I purchased this a few months ago, I think. It's no longer available. This was a limited edition from 2024. This almost smells like French toast to me when it is burning. I really like this one. Really yummy and warm, but yeah, they are not the same fragrance. So I thought that they might be, but I'm here to tell you guys, not a repackage, but I'm not mad at that Christmas treats. I do think that it is a nice gourmand fragrance. Okay, and the one that I was a little bit intrigued by, this is the fragrance Santa's on His Way. We have fresh pine, bergamot, orange, and musk. Here we've got this beautiful red wax, and I'm going to tell you guys, this is one that, like, I'm not sure that I would have purchased this if I would have picked it up and sniffed it. Nor does this really make me think of like the holidays, this actually smells kind of like a January scent. This to me, you guys, actually smells a lot like an orange blossom scent. I'm not getting a ton of pine on cold sniff here. I am getting a very like orange blossom, not orange blossom with a little bit of muskiness. It's kind of perfumey to me. Again, this is a fragrance that makes me think more so of like winter or like transition from winter to spring. Because here where I live in Arizona, we have a lot of citrus trees, and the orange blossoms tend to bloom usually sometime in March. So this is more of like a, yeah, kind of like a late winter, spring transitional scent to me. But there's a little bit of a musky note underneath it. And I'm not sure what I think about that. So this is one, truthfully, I'll get some burns in on this one. I actually see my mother-in-law really liking this fragrance. She loves orange blossom scents. So I might get some burns in and do a post-burn review for you guys, but then I could also see myself gifting this one to my mother-in-law because I think that she would like that fragrance. So I think that's it for the Kringle haul. Okay, here we are, 26 minutes into the video. I told you guys this was going to be a long one, so if you need to step out and get a quick little potty break, go for it, hit pause. But now we're going to go ahead and dive into this Yankee haul. Now, the reason why I decided to purchase from Yankee, couple of reasons here. First and foremost, you guys, I actually have not tried the new formula. I do know that Yankee, starting a couple of months ago, I want to say it was with some of their fall releases, they transitioned over to what they said is now a plant-based wax blend. My guess is that it's probably soy coconut, maybe like some other type of vegetable, but they have moved away from paraffin apparently, and now they are using a new wax blend. And truthfully, you guys, when they released a lot of their fall fragrances, I was already kind of inundated with fall scents, so I was like, I don't want to try. I just don't want to try anything more. I felt overwhelmed at that time. However, Yankee sent me a mailer about a week and a half ago. And on that mailer, they were letting us know that they were doing a collaboration with the Polar Express movie. Now, my son loves the Polar Express. Loves it. So when he saw that mailer, he said, Mom, you have to get these for your channel. He said, you have to. And I said, okay. I said, well, let me, in the back of my mind, I thought that would probably be a good, collection. Let's go ahead and pick up some of the fragrances. So last Monday, it would have been October 27th, they released that collection on their website. And I went on the website, you guys, and I actually started looking through at a lot of the fragrance notes. And I was like, a lot of these fragrances actually sound really appealing to me. So I had in that mailer, I had a buy two or buy three, get three free. It also was still in the month of October, which happened to be my birthday month. And I was signed up through the Yankee club or whatever. So I had a coupon for a free large vessel. And then the day that I placed the order, they also were running a special worth 3 wicks where I think $12.50. I think they were $12.50 each. Regardless, you guys, in total, I got 10 candles, and with tax and everything, I think I spent $130. So I feel like I got a pretty good deal here. I had actually messaged my friend Connor. You guys remember Connor from Connor Loves Candles. He is taking a break from doing YouTube, but I messaged him over on Instagram, and I know that he works for Yankee. He's actually one of their, he's a manager. He's in management at Yankee. And so I asked him, I said, Connor, you know my fragrance preferences. Am I going to like this collection? And he told me, he was like, these are the ones I think you're going to like in large vessels. So I went ahead and placed my order. It arrived here the other day. So I'm really excited to share with you guys what I purchased. Like I said, I purchased some candles from the new Polar Express line. I purchased 2 favorites. I bet you guys know one of them. Name one of them that you guys know that was in this haul. Another fragrance that I know is a favorite of a friend of mine that I've never had before. And then I also purchased just from some other newness that they were offering. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now, here's the thing, you guys. I had actually typed out all of the fragrance notes for these Yankee candles. I had it ready to go. My printer is giving me a problem. So I thought, you know what, I will just make sure that I list the fragrance notes down below in the description box on some of these candles. Yankee did go ahead and start listing on the front here, just kind of like some very like on the surface fragrance notes that we will talk about. So I think I'm going to go ahead and start out with the 3-wick candles. I did purchase 4 of them. Now, from the Polar Express collection, I did purchase First Gift of Christmas. So this has, it looks kind of like a little ticket. Mine is a little bit off center here. We all know Yankee is kind of known for like their little like clip art style here. But it says the Polar Express and Yankee candle. Now, the notes here that it highlights are brown sugar and sandalwood. And I actually like this, you guys. I do get that sandalwood note in here. Yeah, there is sandalwood, but there is a sweetness to it, which I do think is the brown sugar note. Again, there's more notes listed on their website. But yeah, this is really nice. There's almost a little bit of not cleanness to it. It's not a straight up gourmand. I would maybe label it a little bit more of like a perfumey gourmand with that sandalwood note. But I really, really like this, you guys. This is really nice. I am not mad about it. As I told you guys, there is not one candle that I purchased here that I'm like thinking about going in and exchanging. I actually really like all of these. So yeah, this is a really nice fragrance. Only thing that I would like maybe get a little like autumn for is I feel like this is a little like lopsided on the label, but that is okay. All right, let's see. What else do I have here? This is from, so they have the Polar Express collection, and then they have one called like All Aboard to Christmas or something like that. It's also kind of train themed. This is the fragrance Train Car Carols. It has aromatic juniper and cinnamon kind of highlighted here. We've got kind of this like sage or olive green, kind of grayish wax here. This is also really nice. This is definitely more juniper, which I like. I actually might burn this with that juniper and laurel fragrance. I feel like that would be a good combo. But it actually will go nicely with some of the other ones here. This is nice. This is more tree forward, but it's not necessarily Christmas tree. Little bit of spice in the background. But again, this is a fragrance that I feel like is really good right now or after the holidays. Yeah, I get some juniper. It's almost got like a, there is kind of like a warmth and woodiness to this. Now, you guys know with Yankee, they're kind of like Kringle. They will list like a billion fragrance notes in their top, middle, and bottom notes. I almost detect like almost some clove or something in this as well. It's really nice. Maybe a little bit of lavender. I don't know if I'm smelling lavender in there. Maybe. But really nice. This one almost leans like, it almost leans like fresh, but it's not overly like in your face outdoorsy fresh or like overly men's cologne like. I think that cinnamon note in there kind of just keeps it a little bit more like wintry vibe. But Train Car Carols is the other one here. Now, the other one that was on that All Aboard to Christmas that I got is the Frosted Tracks. So this has fragrance notes listed here, like the top ones they want to say is icy snow and fresh cypress. Now, again, you guys, my son loves trains, but my dad also really loved trains. So anything with a train theme is automatically going to catch my eye just for the nostalgia. Now, this is more... Yeah, the Frosted Tracks, this is definitely more fresh, outdoorsy, makes you think of fresh snowfall. You got the brightness of that cypress tree in there. I will say the wax on a lot of these are is a little weak smelling, I would say, on some of them. Like this one, I really have to get my nose in there. But there is an iciness to this fragrance. It's not minty. I wouldn't say that it's minty. But I get that cypress tree in here. Almost like an aquatic type of note, which I think would be the Icy Snow Accord. This I actually think would pair really nicely with that Train Car Carols. And then there's another fragrance right here. This is also from the Polar Express collection. This is actually the fragrance, the Polar Express. It has notes listed of fresh bergamot and frosted lavender on this. Now, this fragrance to me, you know what this reminds me a lot of? I think that Country Candle's take on this was a little bit more complex and conceptual and probably nailed that element a little bit more. But if you liked Country Candle in 2024, they had a fragrance called Christmas in Manhattan. If you liked that fragrance, that's what this reminds me of. There is a lavender note in here, but this is not overly like sleepy time lavender. This is kind of like masculine cologne leaning lavender. You got the freshness of bergamot in there. There's a little bit of brightness to it. But yeah, this, again, it's not as conceptual, I feel like, as the Christmas in Manhattan. But if you liked that fragrance, then I think that you would like this one. Yeah, really nice. It's a little bit more cologne-y. This one's a little bit more, a little bit stronger on cold sniff than some of the other ones. So this is also, this is just the Polar Express. But again, when I was reading the fragrance notes, I was like, I think I'm going to want that in a 3-wick more than I will want it in a large 2-wick. But I do like this fragrance. This was a fragrance, like I said, that Christmas in Manhattan, I really liked after the holidays last year. And I feel like this is a fragrance that I would probably really like in the month of January as well. Now, continuing on here with this Polar Express collection, I did purchase the fragrance Believe. This has the notes that are highlighted here are cardamom and ginger. So we've got Santa and his reindeer going around the tree here. Now, this is one of their large 2-wick vessels. Now, I like the scent. Do you know what this one reminds me a lot, though? I'm trying to give you guys some basis of comparison because I do know that while Yankee Candle is still available in a lot of stores and whatnot, I know that a lot of their like main stores, like mine is at a mall that's an hour away, and that's like there's only 2 in the Phoenix area. It's either in Chandler or in at the Arrowhead Town Center in Glendale. So there's only 2 to go from. Like it's a drive for me to go in, and so when I tell you guys like fragrances that it reminds me of, just knowing that a lot of my viewers and a lot of my subscribers, you guys are familiar with some other candle brands. This, if you liked Kringle Candle's Boo Crew, the Boo Hoo collection, or the Boo Hoo candle from the Boo Crew collection, that's what this fragrance reminds me of. Not an exact dupe, but like a cousin. I think it's the cardamom and the ginger notes in here. There's a little bit of vanilla in it. The ginger is not too gingery. It's not gingerbread. It's not like zingy, like spicy ginger in here. But that cardamom note is really well done in this. You guys know cardamom and I don't always get along. I think that there's also a little bit of chestnut in here. There's a little bit of nuttiness. I actually like this one a lot. I think this is the one that Connor said, I'm really curious to see what you think about this one. He goes, I think you'll like it, but I'm curious to see what your thoughts are. But yeah, I do like this one quite a lot. I'm glad that I picked it up in the 2-wick. In fact, you guys, the candles that I picked in the 2-wick, I did a really good job because they are the ones like when I look at all of the candles, like I'm really excited that I got them in larger formats because they are probably like my favorite fragrances. I like the ones that I got in the 3-wick, but these are the ones that I really, really like. And I'm like, ooh, I chose wisely. Now, in the Polar Express collection, I also purchased the fragrance Hot Chocolate. So the fragrance notes listed here are milk chocolate and sweet marshmallow. So we have, you guys, okay, here's the thing. You guys might be surprised that I purchased this in a 2-wick because I'm not always a fan of chocolate fragrances, but when I like chocolate fragrances, they do tend to be milk chocolate. And I'm here to tell you, I do like this. This does smell like milk hot chocolate to me. There is, it's not lactonic. It doesn't smell sour on cold. There is an undertone of marshmallow in it. This actually kind of reminds me a little bit of, Kringle Candle had their chocolate bunnies candle a couple of years ago. Now that had a little bit of a coconut aspect to it, but the milk chocolate note is reminding me very much of that. Again, do I feel like it's as sophisticated as a chocolate note as Kringle normally uses? No. But do I like it better than like say Bath and Body Works? Yes, I do like this candle. I can get on board with this chocolate fragrance. So yeah, I really, really like this one. Lane, did you want to come tell them what you think of this candle? He said he wanted to pop on really quick in the video to let people know what he thinks about it. Or are you going to be shy? Are you going to be shy now?
It makes me want hot chocolate.
It makes you want hot chocolate?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you like this one?
Yes.
Yes, you do. Do you like the song from the Polar Express?
We got hot, hot.
Yeah, the hot chocolate. Is this your favorite one from all of the Polar Express candles that I got? Which one's your favorite?
I like both of them.
You like both of them? Mm-hmm. You like that one and the one that says the Polar Express on it?
Mm-hmm.
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 Yeah, that one's your favorite too. This is my son Lane, by the way. This is the reason why I bought all of these Polar Express candles, huh? Yeah. Yep. All right.
13 years old.
Yeah. Trains. Yeah, you're 13 and you love trains. Mm-hmm. That's okay. Papa loved trains. Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. Thanks for popping on here, buddy. Mm-hmm. So yes, that was the reason why I ended up purchasing from the Polar Express collection. Now, they also have in this all aboard for Christmas, they had a fragrance here called Conductor's Coal. Now, I don't think that this is going to be the fragrance for everybody. However, you guys all know I am somebody who likes hearth, smoky, woodsy types of fragrances. I love Homeworx's Winter Fireside. Kringle had a fragrance called Fireplace a couple of years ago. You guys all know I love me some smoky fragrances. So this one really intrigued me. Conductor's Coal, the main notes here that they're kind of highlighting are warm spices and wood smoke. Now, I like this. There's something familiar about this. It's not quite as clove and incense heavy as Homeworx's Winter Fireside. That's a very different fragrance to me. That one I get more like spices. This I'm definitely getting a wood smoke element, and I'm trying to figure out what other candle I've smelled before that this is reminding me of. I don't know if it's a Homeworx scent that I've had before, but the spices in here are really nice with this. It keeps it from being overly smoky, bonfire. I don't feel like it's that. The middle note listed on here, I think, was kind of like a coal note, and I do feel like that is prevalent. But this is nice. It's more of like a wintertime smoky scent, but it's more hearthside. Yeah, I really, really like this fragrance quite a bit. I feel like this is going to be a good one to start burning now, all the way through the winter time. Oh, you know what this reminds me of now that I'm thinking of it? I know what it is. It is Nest had a fragrance a few years ago called Charcoal Woods. If I have a picture of it, I'll pop it up. That's what this is reminding me of. Yeah, it's that charcoal aspect. So if you ever had Nest's Charcoal Woods and you miss it, that's what this is reminding me of. Oh, I'm always happy when like I remember that mid-video because I was like, this smells really familiar. I know I've smelled something like this before. Yeah, Nest Charcoal Woods. That's what this reminds me of. Really nice fragrance. Really enjoy it. Now, I have to say, you guys, probably my favorite fragrance out of, other than, I mean, one of these is a favorite just because it's very nostalgic. You guys have probably already guessed what it is. But probably my favorite fragrance that I have purchased outside of that one is part of what I think they're calling the Perfect Tree collection. This is being marketed as a new fragrance. I think it's a flanker to one of their all-time most popular tree fragrances. This is Balsam and Cedar Fireside. Again, you guys know I like my kind of like smoky fragrances. Now, fun fact, you guys, I'm not really a huge fan of Balsam and Cedar. It's a little too astringent, leans a little bit cat urine-like to me. But I like this one. Yeah, this is a really nice tree fragrance, but you get a slight, and I am talking slight element of a like fireside type of note, like you're by a fireplace, but it's not super smoky. This is not a smoky fragrance at all. It is very much like hiding in the background there. but I think that it's enough that it cuts down on the astringency of the balsam and cedar that I've always known. Little bit of woodiness, but the balsam note in here is coming across a little bit sweet. I actually really, really like this fragrance. Like I said, I think that this is probably my favorite of the entire haul, other than my nostalgic favorite that I'm going to show you in just a moment. But that's really, really good, you guys. Again, I will make sure that I have all of the fragrance notes listed in the description box down below for you. Now, here's a fragrance, you guys, that my friend Melanie, this is her like most nostalgic fragrance with Yankee Candle. And a lot of people have always talked about this. I've gone in store and I've smelled it and I love it. And for whatever reason, I've never purchased it before. But this was the time I decided, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and pick that up and burn it this month. And it is the fragrance Cranberry Chutney. So it's funny. I've never burned this candle before, but there is something about this that just screams like 90s holiday season to me. Yeah, I definitely get cranberry. The cranberry in here is kind of artificial, I would say. There is a cherry note mixed with it as well. I smell some cherry. The top notes I think were listed as like a strawberry and another berry type of note. It's a very fruity type of scent, but there is something about it that's a little bit deeper and robust that it doesn't remind me of like a summertime fruity scent. I do like this. Yeah, this is one that I feel like I might burn a few times just to have for like nostalgia's sake. But I do enjoy this one. I see myself wanting to hold on to it for a little while. And of course, you guys know my number one all-time Christmas fragrance. This is the fragrance that if you were to ask me, if you were to say, Katie, you can only have one candle for the Christmas season, one. And you guys know, I love my candles. I love a lot of fragrances. I would choose this one every day that ends in Y because this is the fragrance that my mom burned every year for the Christmas season. We didn't have a whole lot to spend on candles or whatnot, but my mom made sure starting from like, I don't know, 1993, 1994 onwards, this we had every Christmas season. It is the fragrance Home for the Holidays. So this fragrance to me, you guys, is spicy. There's cinnamon and clove in here. There is a woodsy base. There is a little bit of like, they say that there's snowberries and I think some type of a tree note in here. Maybe it's balsam. But there is an underlining cedar wood note in the base on this candle. And it's just so nostalgic to me. Now, I'm really happy, you guys, because I actually still have about, I would say a third of the wax left of this candle in the paraffin formula. I don't love the paraffin formula. And this is still a single wick. This was the only vessel that it was available in. Trust me, if it would have been available in those 2 wicks, I would have bought it in that format. But it was only available in this single wick. But I'm really curious to see how this new formula burns, even in the single wick. So I will keep you guys updated. I don't know if I will do a dedicated review on this one. I might do a dedicated review. We'll see if I get around to it, you know. But truthfully, you guys, this is a fragrance that I only burn once my house is decorated for Christmas. We have to be past Thanksgiving. This truthfully is probably a fragrance that I burn really going into the week, like the week of Christmas. This is my number one scent. So nostalgic. Love it so very, very much. So you guys know there was no way I was going to pass up getting that candle. So that was a doozy of a video here. I did want to let you guys know that I did pop into Bath and Body Works over the weekend as well. I know that they had a $10.95 sale going on, and I had a 25% coupon. So I want to let you guys know, I did go into the store. I sniffed around just to see if there was anything that really like struck my fancy, and I walked out empty-handed. I know it's a very unpopular opinion, especially because a lot of people love Bath & Body Works. And if you love Bath & Body Works, I am not trying to dissuade you from purchasing from them. I am just letting you guys know, first and foremost, when I walked in there, a lot of the gourmand scents that I picked up, like they had like a fresh cinnamon roll. There was some cookie ones, like cookie... what was it? Like somebody said it's a repackage of the Danbury shortbread. all of those candles, for whatever reason, you guys, they had kind of like a burned or scorched caramel note to my nose. Like there were like 5 candles that I picked up that all of them had that same note. Like I was like, what is going on with all of these? The only candles that I was tempted to purchase were the crushed candy cane. I do like that fragrance around the holidays. And they do have a new fragrance called Sugared Pine Needles. I did like that one, but the only thing that gave me hesitancy to buy it, I mean, I probably should have bought it just so that way I could have reviewed it for my channel, but it had the thick rope-like wicks and colored wax, which historically that has not performed well for me. And I was just thinking, what is going on, Bath and Body Works? Like, why? Why do you continue to put candles like in that? Like they're not performing well? And yeah, it would have cost me about $8, but truthfully, you guys, I just knew by that point, I knew I had already placed this Yankee candle haul, and I was like, okay, I'm going to have all of those candles to review. Those were at a more affordable price point. There just wasn't anything at Bath and Body Works that I was just so excited about to go ahead and purchase. And I just am at a point where I'm like, I would rather spend my money with brands that I know are going to perform well for me. Caramel Sundays is going to be having their November restock. There's some candles there that I'm wanting to buy. And I even felt like I was like, I don't even want to spend $8 on this candle. So a little bit frustrating. And I know some of you guys might be frustrated that I don't feature Bath and Body Works on my channel. Truthfully, you guys, I will tell you, if that Sugared Pine Needles would have been available in like their normal white wax, I probably would have taken the risk. But just the combination of the two, I was like, I just have a feeling that that's going to dead out for me, and it's going to or burn dirty or whatnot. And so I just figured, not worth it. So unfortunately, you guys, I did not participate in that sale, but I'm sure that there's a lot of other creators here, here on YouTube or over on Instagram that will be sharing their thoughts. And I would always encourage you guys, please subscribe to their channels as well. Make sure that you guys give them some love. I know I haven't gotten around to watching it yet. My friend Greg from All About Candles, he's up in Canada. I think he just did a big Christmas haul, so I need to watch his video and see what his thoughts are. He's always so entertaining and such a hoot to watch what his thoughts are on that collection. Trying to think who else might have. I don't know if Melanie got in there, but I know that there's some other creators who still purchase from Bath and Body Works and really highlight a lot of their stuff on their channels. But as for me, you guys, I just decided to spend a little bit more money with Yankee this go around. And like I said, from what I've purchased, I'm not mad about it. The candles that I purchased, I really, really like the fragrance profiles. So that is why you don't see a big Bath & Body Works haul from me. Also wanted to let you guys know that I had posted on my Instagram page, but I did decide that for probably up from now until Thanksgiving, I am taking a little bit of a break from Instagram and Facebook. So if you don't see me in the Facebook groups, or if you don't see me posting over on my Instagram, it's just because truthfully, you guys, I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed and overstimulated. And anytime I start to feel that way, one of the best ways for me to kind of get a good like mental reset is to just kind of cut social media. YouTube is technically social media, but I don't really view it as like, I don't feel the same way about YouTube as I do about Instagram and Facebook. That is just a little bit more, there's just so much that's thrown at you in like short snippets that it's just overstimulating. So I am deciding to kind of just do a little bit of a fast from that for the first portion of this month here, really realign my mind as we are focusing on a holiday that focuses on gratitude. I just thought, you know what? Let's go ahead and have a little bit of a reset. So I'm saying that all for if you are sending me DMs over on Instagram and I don't respond, I'm not being rude and ignoring you. I do have an email address that you guys can contact me at. It's KATIESJOYFULLIFE@gmail.com. I do have that listed in the description box. If you ever want to reach out and ask me for any post-burn thoughts on some candles, if you just ever want more information, please always send me an email. I will do my best to respond to you. Leave comments down below. I will do my best to respond. And then, but yeah, I do know that sometimes, it takes a little while to get around to doing my post-burn thoughts. But if there's things that come on sale, which I'm sure there's going to be a ton of candle sales going on this month, and you want some thoughts like, hey, I haven't seen a review yet, but have you burned that candle yet? How's it going? Shoot me an email and I will do my very best to give you guys some thoughts. So I feel like that covers it. Like I said, this is a very, very lengthy video. We're almost an hour long here. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Leave a comment down below. What do you think of this collection, of this ridiculously large haul that I have for you guys? I would be curious to hear your thoughts. Did you guys shop this new Yankee drop? Are you excited about it? You know, any of these new Kringle 3 wicks, what are your thoughts? Just let me know down below. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.